שלום, אני דוד נגלי, אני בן של מורנטה. אני סיימתי תיכון בהלל לפני שנה, ועכשיו התגייסתי לפני חודש לגצ"ר נחל. אני רציתי לאחל לכולם יום עצמאות שמח, ולהודות תודה לזה שאתם מתפללים לחיילים כל בוקר. רציתי להגיד שזה באמת עוזר לחיילים, לדעת שיש אנשים מקהילה שלנו שמתפללים לנו כל בוקר. Hi, my name is David Nagli. I am Moranata's son. I actually just graduated 12th grade from Hillel last year. I'm currently serving in Gatsar Nachal, which is a Special Forces Combat Brigade. I just graduated a month ago, and I'm doing my training currently. I wanted to thank you guys for that you guys pray every single day for the soldiers, and wish you guys a Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach.
היי, שלום לכולם, קוראים לי נועה ואני הנכדה של מורה טובה. Hi everyone, my name is Noah and I'm Mora Tova's granddaughter. I'm a soldier in the IDF. I serve in the Air Force and I'm part of the operation unit that is responsible for many of the flights of the Air Force. Thank you for supporting us and praying for us. I wish you all a Chag Ha'atzmaut Sameach. Happy Independence Day.
Shalom, my name is Or Karavani. I'm Mora Dror's son and Mora Tehila's brother-in-law. Just like you, I also went to school as a kid in America until I graduated high school. All these years, I really wanted to visit and to be in Israel, and I'm glad that my wishes and hopes, my tikva, came true. I moved to Israel and joined the Israeli army, Tzahal, because I wanted to be a soldier and to protect Israel and to help the Jewish people. I serve in the Air Force. My job is to check the army's airplanes and to make sure that they are not broken. I even get to fly in the air. If there's a problem, I fix it. I really love what I do in the army and know that because of me and my soldier friends, we will have a powerful and strong army. I was very happy to hear from your Mora that in every tefillah in class, you had a special bracha for the Israeli soldiers. Toda rabba and Chag Ha'atzmaut Sameach.
שלום, אני ג'יימי, האחיינית של מורה עופרה. רציתי לאחל לכם חג שמח ולהגיד לכם תודה על כל מה שאתם עושים בשבילנו. Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm Mora Ofra's niece. I just wanted to say thank you guys for everything that you're doing, all the support that you're giving us, all the way from America. I'm currently a commander in Gdud Karakal. It's a combat infantry unit for both boys and girls on the border of Egypt. And I just love to see all the support that's given to us by you guys. And just keep doing what you're doing because it really helps.
Hi everyone, my name is Moshe and I'm Rabbi Levi's son. I serve in the IDF as a combat soldier in the Kfir Brigade. Our main mission is to keep all the Israelis within Israeli borders safe. We really appreciate all your prayers from afar, and I wish you a Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach.
Shalom Scheck Hillel family and Chag Sameach. This year the entire world has been suffering in so many ways, and what's worse, we are kept from being together with our family and friends. Today we celebrate Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's Independence Day. Part of what we do each year on this day is proudly proclaim to the world that no matter how far we are from the land of Israel, we as Jews always have Israel in our hearts, because we know distance is difficult, but love is stronger. Yishai Cohen reached out to Rabbi Gans, whose brother Avi lives in Israel, and asked the two of them to present to us on this Yom Ha'atzmaut. Although there exists an ocean between them, they know distance is difficult, but love is stronger. The Tekes Ma'avar, or transition ceremony, marks the moment in Israel when the day of Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, transitions into Yom Ha'atzmaut in the recognition that all those heroic lives lost were not in vain. The sacrifices of Yom HaZikaron gave us the land of Israel, which we all love so dearly. Remember, distance is difficult, but love is stronger. We are privileged to hear from Lieutenant Major Steve Gar of the Gush Etzion Central Command. A family man and educator, Steve is intimately familiar with the security challenges facing Israel. He shares his message of Jewish brotherhood with many thousands of tourists and students each year, and we welcome him to our Scheck Hillel Tekes Ma'avar. Enjoy.
Birshut, Mrs. Vanessa Donaher, head of school, Rabbi Dr. Ezra Levy, the head rabbi, teachers, parents, and students. Guys, it's an honor for me to speak at Scheck Hillel Community School on this very special day, Yom Ha'atzmaut. We're celebrating 72 years. We've waited 2,000 years to come back to the land of Israel. My name is Steve Gar. I serve on an elite counter-terrorism unit. You might have picked up by now, I've got a little bit of a southern accent. Way south. I made Aliyah from South Africa 22 years ago. to the Gush Etzion where we are right now. I'm here with my awesome family. I've got a gorgeous wife and 5 children living in the Gush Etzion just south of Yerushalayim. Guys, in these hills we've got about 22 Jewish towns, 120,000 Jews living over here. It's an honor for me to serve on a counterterrorism unit protecting these communities. We remembered Yom HaShoah. We remembered 6 million Jews being killed. We remembered the pain that our nation went through. And then I thought about the incredible roller coaster. The roller coaster our nation has gone through over the past few weeks, starting with Pesach. Besamachta bechagecha. And you will be joyous, you'll be happy during your festivals. We had a Seder, we said Hallel, we praised God. And then straight in to Sfirat HaOmer, the mourning period, where we mourn. We don't have haircuts, shave. We make sure that we don't hold weddings, listening to music. It's during that time 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva died. A sad time, a semi-mourning in the Jewish law, in Jewish halakha. And then from that, we then go into Yom HaShoah. Yom HaShoah commemorating probably the darkest period the Jewish people have ever experienced. The pain, the suffering. We then move into what we commemorated yesterday. Yom HaZikaron, Remembrance Day. On this day we remember every single soldier that gave his life serving our country, protecting the land of Israel, protecting the Jewish state. And you know, it's crazy, but as the sun sets, we then move into probably the happiest day in the Jewish calendar, where every Jew, religious or not religious, is dancing and singing in the streets. Yom HaAtzmaut. It waited 2,000 years for Jews to have their own country, their own IDF, their own defense force, to have their own military, to have their own government. Now we are celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut. What a roller coaster. In the last 3 weeks, we see how we go through everything. We go through happiness, we go through sadness. The emotional roller coaster is something that I thought, how do Jews respond to pain and suffering? What's the Jewish response when we're feeling in pain? Do you know the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising? It began on the April 19th, 1943, 77 years ago. Let me tell you though, the Hebrew date. It was Tet Vav Nisan 5703. Yes, Leil HaSeder. Seder night was when the Jews went up to uprise against their Nazi oppressors. And then I thought about my Seder. How during the coronavirus it was so difficult during this time to have a Seder without Saba and Safta. Boba and Zayda had their Seder alone. And I felt sad. I felt sad that our family wasn't together. And I've thought about the little silly things as well. The silly things. You know how we couldn't get those delicious soup croutons that we normally have every Pesach. I thought about the kitniot that in Israel was only available. What do Ashkenazi Jews do? And I've thought, what was the type of Seder that they had in Warsaw 77 years ago? What kind of Seder did they have? The Seder that they had, did they even have matzah? Did they have a bottle of kosher for Pesach wine that they'd stored? Not to have 4 cups, but maybe just to have 1. And then I felt so guilty. I felt so guilty complaining about our Seder. You know, in comparison, our Seder was awesome. But you know, I'm not trying to belittle the horrific, terrible situation we're going through now. What's happening with the coronavirus is something that is devastating. It's brought world leaders to their knees. We're not sure how world economies are going to recover. Jewish community leaders, esteemed rabbis, great grandparents and grandparents have been taken by this coronavirus. It's the most horrific time. And I'm not trying to belittle or take away how painful and difficult it is to go through a Seder alone, to celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut in our own homes, not going out into the open, having barbecues in Israel, going onto the beach, but staying in our own homes so that we may not allow this virus to spread. But you know, I thought there we could learn from our grandparents. We could learn from them the reaction, the Jewish response to pain and suffering. You know, the Jewish response to pain and suffering is Am kalavi yakum. We are a nation that get up like lions. And that's exactly what they did. They got up like lions. Those Jews in 1943 commemorated, they celebrated their Pesach Seder, and they were true to the word. L'shana haba'a b'Yerushalayim. Next year, we're going to be in Yerushalayim. And you know what? They were true to that promise. Because that generation, after losing everything, after feeling depressed, after losing brothers and sisters, parents, this was the nation that out of the ashes of the Holocaust created the land of Israel. They made it a dream come true. They made it a reality. And these Holocaust survivors, our grandparents, for some of us, our great-grandparents, were able to create something that we've yearned for, that we've said at every Pesach Seder for the last 2,000 years, L'shana haba'a b'Yerushalayim. There was a very great man, a Holocaust survivor, Dr. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist. Dr. Viktor Frankl developed some of his theories inside Auschwitz, inside the concentration camps. It was during that where he taught us something so important. You cannot control every situation, but you can control your reaction. You can control your response. You see, this generation taught us how to respond to pain and suffering. They gave Dr. Viktor Frankl a piece of bread inside the Holocaust. He said some people would look at this black bread, look at what they called soup, which was just potatoes that were boiled. And they said, is this what they're feeding us? We remember eating incredible cuisine. Now we have to eat this? He said he had a special mealtime cloth. Dr. Viktor Frankl had a cloth, he said, that was once white. He put it down on the floor, put the bread on it, and he danced around it, saying, this is mealtime. And then when the time was up, he took the little piece of bread and put it into his mouth, extracting every ounce of flavor. You see, that's his response to being fed in a concentration camp. Do you know how we can respond? We can respond, and what's incredible, during this time, during a coronavirus, we can respond with caring for our fellow Jews. And I saw this. I saw this on Leil HaSeder 2020. What happened was Jews in Mea Shearim in Bnei Brak went out of their homes while they were celebrating their Seder. They came out of their homes and they gave meals to soldiers that were protecting the streets. Jews care for one another. There are shiurim that are happening. I know that the Scheck Hillel community is sending out shiurim to every house. And I know that people are learning Torah, praying. And there's also beautiful chesed. How much we care for each other. How much we love one another. And how people have gone out of their way, even though they might be feeling the tremendous burden of what's happening financially. People are still giving tzedakah. People are still giving charity. Am kelavi yakum. We're a nation that get up like lions. And that's the Jewish response. So what I'm going to say to you is this. In that this Yom HaAtzmaut, although we're at home, I want everyone to dance like you've never danced before. I want you to do this in your own living rooms. And I want you to show that Am Yisrael Chai, the nation of Israel lives. When we have unity, Jewish unity, nothing can touch us. We are safe from terrorism, from viruses. We're safe from pain and suffering because when we stand together, When Jews care for each other, there's achdut, there's unity. And when we have unity, that's when Hashchina Shoreh Benehem. That's when HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, gives us a hug. I want to see everyone next year, after this virus is over, celebrating Yom Ha'atzmaut in Yerushalayim. L'shana Haba'a Yerushalayim. Please, as we raise this flag, remember what it means to be a Jew, how far we've come as a nation, and what we are able to achieve with the right response to pain and suffering.
כשהלב בוכה, רק אלוקים שומע, הכאב עולה מתוך הנשמה. אדם נופל לפני שהוא שוקע, בתפילה קטנה חותך את הדממה. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, אתה הכל יכול. נתת לי את חיי, נתת לי הכל. בעיניי דמעה, הלב בוכה בשקט, וכשהלב שותק, הנשמה זועקת. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, עכשיו אני לבד. חזק אותי אלוקיי, עשה שלא אבחר. הכאב גדול, ואין לי על לברוח. עשה שיגמר, כי לא נותר בי כוח. כשהלב בוכה, הזמן עומד מלכת. האדם רואה את כל חייו פתאום. אל הלא נודע, הוא לא רוצה ללכת. לאלוקיו קורא על צו תהום. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, אתה הכל יכול. נתת לי את חיי, נתת לי הכל. בעיניי דמעה, הלב בוכה בשקט, וכשהלב שותק, הנשמה צועקת. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, עכשיו אני לבד. חזק אותי אלוקיי, עשה שלא אבחר. הכאב גדול ואין לי על לברוח. עשה שיגמר, כי לא נותר בי כוח. כל עוד בלבב פנימה, נפש יהודי הומייה, ולפתי מזרח קדימה, עין לציון צופיה. עוד התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, Good morning and Moadim L'Simcha L'Geula Shlema. My name is Avi Gans. I live in Alon Shvut with my wife and our 5 children. Alon Shvut is in Gush Etzion, about 15 miles southeast of Jerusalem. I played football for the Judean rebels. Some of you may know that I was on The Voice in Israel. I'm the director of Yeshivat Darkenu, a post-high school gap year program for young men with special needs. I volunteer as an EMT in Magen David Adom. And I've actually tended to some of Israel's critically wounded at terrorist attacks with Steve Gar, my friend from whom you just heard. I guess you could say I get involved in a lot of different things. But I'm honored to be here with you at the Scheck Hillel Community School on Yom HaAtzmaut. And I wanted to share a very quick thought or two on what is Yom HaAtzmaut for me. Is Yom HaAtzmaut about Aliyah? Is Yom HaAtzmaut about where we live, what we do, or what we're thinking, how we identify? If there's one lesson that I've personally learned during this coronavirus pandemic, it's that as far away as we think we are, at this point, everybody's far from their neighbor and just as close to their friend across the ocean. Because just as I'm sitting in your home right now and speaking to you, you can be doing the same thing by reaching out to me on Zoom or on WhatsApp. The Jewish people, as far as we are spread, we're sitting right next to each other at all times. So I want to share a quick story with you. And the story goes like this. That very same Steve Gar that we met right before we raised the flag and transitioned from Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaAtzmaut, he was on guard duty years ago when he was a young man in the army. And on a 3 a.m. shift, on a cold night, he sat there with his friend. And they were singing songs, not because it sounded pretty, you're just going to have to trust me on that one. But they were singing songs because it kept them awake. And maybe it kept their focus off the shivering. And they took turns back and forth. He'd start a song, he'd start a song. And the Israeli friend started the song, Achenu. We all know Achenu. Achenu, Kol Beit Yisrael. And Steve was thinking, like maybe many of you are, and I know that this is the way I was taught growing up, that that's the song that we sing when we think about our brothers and sisters in Israel, who may have been in war. That was probably the first time I learned that song. Since then, there have been times that maybe it's our brothers and sisters in Sderot who are suffering a barrage of rocket attacks. Maybe there was a terror attack somewhere in Gush Etzion or the Shomron. So Steve's thinking to himself, I'm from South Africa. How do you, the Israeli, know this song? This is the song that we sing about the Israelis. And he asked that to his friend, and his friend said, what are you talking about? This is the song that we sing when we think about the Jews who are stuck in all sorts of far-flung countries, whether it's South Africa or it's Senegal, like a cousin of mine was just stuck in, or Australia, or Miami, or New York. Israelis sing that song and we think about the Jews all over the world, and that's when it hit Steve that the truth is we're all singing about each other because we're all thinking about one another. And maybe that's what it means to have a Yom HaAtzmaut. Maybe what it means is that we have the freedom, we have the opportunity to look out for one another because that is our focus. And to do that from the land of Israel reminds me of just one other story. The story is told of the Sadigur Rebbe, the Rebbe of Sadigur. The Rebbe of Sadigur was a Holocaust survivor, and before war had officially broken out, when the Nazis had risen to power, they came into Vienna and they went specifically to Jewish leaders so as to send a message to the Jews that their leaders are not in charge anymore. And they went to the Rebbe of Sadigur and they made him sweep the streets. And the Rebbe did what he needed to do. He recognized there wasn't much choice, but he sent up a tefillah and he said, Lord, he said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if I will have the opportunity, get me through this, and I will gladly sweep the streets of your holy country. And the Rebbe made it through the war, and the Rebbe moved to Tel Aviv with a small court. And every year on Yom HaAtzmaut, as he explained to his followers, it wasn't bekovedik. It wasn't respectful for a Rebbe to sweep the streets every single day, but he had to make good on his promise, and he was thrilled to make good on his promise. And he would wake up early, specifically on the morning of Yom HaAtzmaut, and by 3 a.m. he was out on the streets, sweeping the streets of Tel Aviv in full garb, in full Rebbeishe garb, to send the message of what a pleasure, what a zchut, what an honor it is to be in any way part of Eretz Yisrael. So like the first story showed us and like the second story showed us, it doesn't make a difference where we stand. The question is how we think. Do we recognize, do we measure our distance in miles, or do we measure our closeness by the feelings in our heart? Do we look at Eretz Yisrael as the expensive apartment in Jerusalem or the beautiful opportunity to sweep the streets of Tel Aviv? Whatever Yom HaAtzmaut means to you, I invite us all to join together, to celebrate, to become a part of Israel's not only past, not only present, but our future. I look forward to celebrating with everybody here soon with the Geula Shleima. Once again, wishing everybody a very, very joyous Chag Atzmaut Sameach. Say Shalom, Shalom, Bimroma, Hu Yaseh Shalom. No say Shalom, Shalom, Bimroma. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Oh, say Shalom, Shalom Bimroma. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Oh, say Shalom, Shalom Bimroma. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Hey, hu Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu. V'yakol Yisrael. V'imiru. Amen. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. V'yakol Yisrael. V'imiru. Amen. Oh, say Shalom, Shalom Bimroma. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Oh, say Shalom, Shalom Bimroma. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Hey, Shalom Aleinu. V'yakol Yisrael. V'imiru. Amen. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. V'yakulam. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. V'yakulam. Salam Aleinu v'yakol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu v'yakol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu v'yakulam. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od yavo Shalom Aleinu v'yakulam. Salam Aleinu v'yakol ha'olam. Salam, salam, Shalom Aleinu v'yakol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu v'yakol ha'olam. Salam, salam,
Shalom Aleinu v'yakol ha'olam. Shalom.
salam, shalom
70 שנה במכונית אני נוסע ומביט על מה היה ומה נהיה, ריח נפשי עוד הומיע מהמצדה של הזריחות, ירושלים בסליחות, מחוף כנרת ואכזיב,
מהמסיבות של תל אביב. אבי חלם והתפלל
לחיות בארץ ישראל. היום ילדי אותי שואל מה הסיפור של ישראל. כאן זה בית, כאן זה לב, ואותך אני לא עוזב.
אבותינו שורשים,
ואנחנו הפרחים המנגינות, שבט אחים ואחיות.
מהמסיבות של תל אביב.